I think
In
Mumbai
fact,
is
I
not
left
raining. No?
Bombay
Chennai
around 1 week back. I
earlier.
don't know anything about Bombay.
From
To
Manila, you
Kochi.
came directly here? Okay.
Yesterday, I came to your building yesterday to visit Shyamprakash family, but I was so busy, that's the reason. And with short notice, I don't want to disturb you.
Not at all pardonable. Okay.
Because
So I think we can start.
Yeah.
I've been to his house.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay,
we'll start.
can we start?
Yes,
Okay,
yes. Please.
George, okay.
Yeah. Okay, good evening, everyone. And a warm welcome to all distinguished members, guests, and participants joining us today. On behalf of INMAC, Indo, Gulf and Middle East Chamber of Commerce, I am very much delighted to welcome you to our webinar on wealth creation for business and self. Now, before we begin, a few important housekeeping points to remember. Please keep your microphones muted throughout the session. This is very important. If you have any questions, you can raise your questions directly to the speaker after the presentation, or else kindly use the chat box provided and we will take them up during the Q&A session. Please maintain silence to ensure a smooth and disturbance-free experience for everyone. Now let me invite Dr. Suresh Kumar, our Secretary General, to deliver the welcome address and opening remarks. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, George. Respected Chairman of INMAC, Dr. N.M. Sharfuddin, our office bearers, directors, life members, and all the participants. On behalf of Indo, Gulf and Middle East Chamber of Commerce, it gives me an immense pleasure to welcome each one of you for today's webinar, Wealth Creation for Business and Self. INMAC has always been believed that true economic progress begins with empowering individuals and enterprises. And today's session aligns perfectly with the vision. We are honored to have here us with Mr. Nikhil Gopalakrishnan, an inspiring personality in the world of financial literacy.
He's cut off.
Yeah.
Sorry, he'll be joining very, very soon. Connection is very weak.
Yeah. Connection is very weak.
He'll be joining very soon. Okay. We'll continue the meeting. Let him join. Okay, George,
now,
if you have any
Yeah, now I hand over the session to the chairman, Dr. N.M. Sharfuddin, to deliver the speech.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I expect to see our Secretary General, Dr. Suresh Kumar, will be joining very soon. He was cut off due to some connection error. Okay, this is a very rare occasion for INMAC that we normally conduct webinars like this. And this time it's very useful for the entire business community. That is, see, the subject itself is very attractive. Of course, we have to know what exactly that the subject says. And wealth creation is, of course, everyone's aim, everyone's goal. Suresh, if you
sorry, there was some network issue. You may carry on because I already George will be introducing Mr. Nikhil. Or shall I just continue once again?
Please continue.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Nikhil Gopalakrishnan is an inspiring personality in the world of financial literacy and wealth management. His journey from growing up in the investment service family to leading a prominent broker has empowered countless individuals to rethink money, investment, and financial independence. We are privileged to learn from his expertise and practical insights today. In a world of constant economic shifts, understanding the art and science of wealth creation has become not just important, but essential. We hope that this session will ignite fresh thinking, strengthen financial discipline, and guide us towards long-term prosperity, both in business and personal life. Thank you once again for joining us. Wishing you all enriching and insightful experience. Welcome and let us learning begin. Over to George. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And now we will continue with the chairman's speech, and afterwards I will be introducing the speaker.
Okay, wealth creation for business and self is a very pet subject for all of us, as we are all in business or say high professions. What we don't know is, of course, see the process or the see ideas behind it or the lessons behind it. And now we are fortunate to have that particular words, particular lesson, particular suggestions from Mr. Nikhil Gopalakrishnan, who is a friend of all of us. And I came to know that he's from Cochin and he's a neighbor of my location also here. He's from Vaitila. So I'm especially thank you for coming today and giving this very innovative suggestions from your side. This webinar, of course, we you know what is INMEC? INMEC is an organization of professions and business leaders. For your information, I'm just telling, otherwise most of the are INMEC members, and this is based and located in entire Indian states plus entire Middle East countries. We have chapters everywhere, like Maharashtra chapters, UAE chapter, Oman chapter, for individually identifying opportunities and to promote things happening there. And we have many MOUs signed with the government authorities, trade organizations like free zones and all, and we are promoting investments vice versa for GCC countries and for India also. That our people, our members are really looking for business collaborations, associations, and things like that. This webinar will be recorded and will be spread amount, will be published on our website also, because our members, those are very busy, can see this on a later date, whenever they feel to have. And you may be getting questions also regarding this, because we'll be giving, if you don't mind, we'll be giving you your contact number also, or the whole office will be contacting you for the queries. Okay, I'm not taking much time, because people are waiting only for your speech. Okay, thank you, and over to Mr. George again for the introduction.
Okay, thank you, Chairman, for your continued support and the vision enabling the programs like this. Thank you very much. Now let me introduce our distinguished speaker in short, in a brief way. Mr. Nikhil KG is the CEO of Pentad Securities. Is a passionate advocate for financial awareness and wealth creation. With over a decade of leadership in stock broking and financial product distribution, he actively promotes long-term investing, smart savings, risk management, and financial freedom. Through his initiative, Money Talks with Nikhil, he has been instrumental in educating the public on personal finance, and he is also a regular guest speaker at Radio Mirchi, Kerala, and Economic Times Malayalam. So we are very much privileged to have him with us today, sir. And we are honored to have you. And now the session is for you. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. It's been a pleasure to come to this floor and talk about this particular topic. And I know the fact that the kind of teams you have, the kind of members you have. I have attended a couple of sessions which you have organized in Kochi also. So I have seen that the kind of people you have invited, the way you have invited. And I think this kind of events are very much needed, and this kind of associations also very much needed. Because the biggest issue with the business owners are that in office also sometimes you may not have the time to think about your personal stuff, and there are areas where we need to collaborate with people. You need to associations to make sure that you have connected and you grow as a whole. And from a society point of view, it is very important that we should have a community where business owners are really respected and people who are getting a chance to grow as a businessman. And now things are changing also, because in youngsters also, there are a lot of people are trying to do something in business, and the situations like people wanted to get into a job, those kind of situations are gone, and most of the people are interested in getting to business. And another problem which most of the business families sometimes feeling is that succession is a problem, because in business family sometimes some of the people don't want to get into business, and they want to be an investor. That is also a bigger problem, because I was talking to National Stock Exchange team, and what they were saying that if these bigger companies, the next generation is not taking over the business, and they are going to run the family office alone, and they will become investors. Because when I go and speak to business owners, the biggest problem is that they're especially the next generation, they are thinking about a lot about getting into managing their fund, getting into investment. So the real business, how they are going to run, this is also a challenge. And I'm not really getting into too much of details because I have only 30 minutes of time. So my purpose of this today's meeting is that how to manage the wealth you have accumulated. I'll briefly touch upon business, and the same time I will be moving on to how you can manage your personal finance, because that is my interesting area, and that is what sometimes, especially a business man in the initial time, they struggle to forget. Because they will be bothered about only building the business. And I have switched on the screen so where I can write it down. So whatever I'm speaking, if at all you want to see it more carefully, that will be helping. So, but today we are going to talk about is that wealth creation for business and self, and it's a very relevant topic if you look at it. So, the first and foremost thing what we really need to do is that what is the contribution businessman is doing, and thankfully, especially this group, most of you are established, most of you are running business. But the kind of struggle which you have taken to reach this level, it's a big thing. Because if you look at any 100 people who are getting into business, I don't know how many will be successful. Almost 80% will be not really going into a very successful state. So the people who are into that 20% or that 10% who are really successful have really taken that struggle to get into this level. But we need to go back to the basics in terms of how do you want to manage your wealth going forward. And especially people who are running the business, they will be more comfortable what I'm going to talk. But here, I'm just keeping some basic rules when we talk about wealth creation for business and self. So first of all, the point is that you need to separate business and person, because businessman and business is not same. This is one basic thing. I'm sure that most of the people will be doing it, but just for the sake of it, if I'm not really telling the ground rules, it will be very difficult to continue the discussion. So, and this person should have a salary, fixed salary should be there for the business. Otherwise, this person, businessman and person will think that my business is equal to my money, and both two things are not the same. Should be having a separate thing. And you may be running multiple business. You may be doing a lot of personal things. So you shouldn't do any rolling of money from one business to another business. So it should be one business should run by the same business which you said, and each your business and your personal finance should have an emergency fund. So so this is very important. Business and person should have an emergency fund. And when I say emergency fund, you need to have a budget. For a business, you definitely need to have a budget that even if no income comes, what is the cost? No income comes. What is the cost to run a business for a month? No income, then what is that cost? So this one, at least 6 months of that particular fund, you should have as an emergency fund in a business. This is very theoretical, but if you do this, you don't have to really worry. If at all 6 months is not there, can you start building it at least to 6 months time? And this is the same thing you need to have for your personal finance also. Even if you are not taking your salary from your monthly expense for your, because some issue you are not able to take the salary. In that case, at least you should have 12 months of monthly expenses at your personal asset. I would say it's an asset. It should be in a bank or mutual fund, in a debt fund. So this should be highly liquid. This one, now when I say it, it may not be very relevant, but during the COVID time, if you go back and see that what I said, it was a very relevant thing. For personal finance, I have seen that some businessmen, they were struggling a lot to manage their personal finance. They have a lot of business and everything, but they had the struggle to manage the personal finance. And you need to really track what is the cash flow. Cash flow is it's a must. So this is something which you shouldn't really not bother. This is something which is really important. And the last one, this is a big thing. You need to have a proper debt management. And when you say debt management, business and person debt should be handled separately. Shouldn't club each other. And businesses between, there are some business will be running very successfully. There is another business will not be running very successfully. One business will have a lot of debt. Another business will have a lot of debt. So if you're running this business with a lot of rolling, it will be a big problem. So if you do that, you need to have a situation where what level you need to cut it, because maybe one business is running really fine. Don't disturb that business. Another business may be not really running well, and you need to have a courage to see that, okay, this business, should I stop it, and what is the stop loss which I need to keep it. And personal finance, you have that at personal level. Don't really disturb the business also. And from personal asset, don't really bring money to really manage your debt also. So you need to have a balance. This is something which I'm just really only touching it, but without touching it, I can really move forward also. Then we need to talk about business, how we need to really run the business. Because any businessman, actually speaking, the biggest asset or biggest wealth this person is running is a business. What is the biggest wealth for a businessman? This is the business itself. Most of the people don't really understand that. If you look at richest man in India or in the world, what they own? Only one thing: business. There is nothing else. This is a business. And you need to institutionalize this business. You need to have an ability that can you run this business without your help? And when I say institutionalize, I'm clearly saying that you need to have a situation where can you take this company to IPO level? Can you really take the ability to take this company, move to stock market? So if you look at it in moving to IPO, SME, it's a very simple option. I'm just going to, I'll just, main board also is another option which you need to really think about it. Because if you do this, the succession plan will be easier. In your absence also, professionals will run the business. And in your second generation or third generation, not interested to run this business also, professionals will run the business. Your family do not have to involve, but you can keep the share. Just imagine your family owning 50%. Professionals are running the business, and this will happen. But if you are not institutionalizing and you are not taking this company to IPO, what is the biggest problem is that if your family next generation is not interested to stop run the business, you have to stop the business there, or you have to sell the business. And if you want to sell the business, that business should be standardized. That business should be should be able to buy it and run it by other people. Just imagine that if you are not there, that business is stopping. That means you can't sell the business. If you are not there, that business is not running. You can't take the company to IPO. It's a bigger problem. So I'm stopping it here, but I'm sure that this group of people, you will have an idea that what is the importance of taking the business to IPO. So you can really see the experience of any rich families. If you look at it, mostly third generation, it will run the business. If you want to run the business more than fourth generation, it's a bigger problem. We have seen a lot of books in terms of wealth destroyers. There you can see that only till third generation the wealth will go very smoothly. And you can see multiple business in Kerala itself. How many companies are listed? V-Guard is listed. The second generation is taken the business. But other businesses, what is a guarantee that second generation will take the business properly? So if you, there are like various examples. You can see that you can see now there are a lot of companies going to go for IPO. Companies like Joy Alucas, companies like Malabar, all what is the future? Because if at all they are not taking this company to IPO level, what is the future? How the next generation will enjoy this business? So I'll stop it here because this is very important that how to create the wealth. This is only the way we can do it. And just imagine the second generation, we have four children, and let's say they are not at all interested to run the business. Then without doing company taking this to IPO level, it's a very difficult to run the business. I'm talking about the kind of scale of business which you guys are running. If the business is small, at least you should have an ability to sell that business. Otherwise, just imagine the company is worth 500 crores or 100 crores, and absence of you, that business is zero. What is the point? If at all you need to able to sell that 100 crore, and next generation should be able to enjoy that business, enjoy that money. Otherwise, it's a problem. So now we will move on to the self or personal finance. In personal finance, it's a very important point that we need to. I'm talking about salary you are taking. I'm not talking about your wealth now, because wealth is a business, and the kind of income you are taking, that is, it's come in your name, not the business. Company will be in different name, right? Then from here, you need to have a clear idea of budgeting. So this budget, you need to have a clear track that what is your income and what is your expenses. And this shouldn't go mismatch. And you should have the ability to manage your lifestyle properly. And here, if at all any of your personal EMI is there, debt is there, you should be able to service from your salary. You can't really take the money from your business and pay this off, because we have seen that most of the time, the moment we rotate the money, it's a bigger problem. And it's a very simple thing. And you need to have a clear picture that what is your income and what is your expenses. There should be surplus. If no surplus, you are in a big trouble. And EMI, you should be able to service from this one. And you need to think about, do you have insurance? And when it comes to insurance, do you have health insurance? And I have seen that there are people who are abroad in Dubai and all. It's to take a visa, you need to have health insurance. And you have a plan to come to India to retirement, but you don't take the insurance in India. It's a bigger problem, because when you are reaching a 60, you are coming to India. That is the only time you will have a disease. Till 60, when you run the business, you may not have any health issues. But the time you come to India and at the age of 60, you need insurance. That time you will have a pressure and you have all the cholesterol and everything. With that, you won't get the health insurance. Health insurance, if you have money, at least minimum, at least 1 crore worth of health insurance you should have. Even if you are not able to use it, also it's good. That means don't think that it's a loss. You are protecting yourself. That's all. And another thing is that we need to have life insurance. When I say life insurance, I'm talking about term insurance. If something happens, I'm touching the wood and telling you that if at all something happens to your life, and this is not going to happen, but I'm telling you that you need to spend it like you need to lose money in both the cases, health insurance and term insurance. You should pray that it's money, I'm happy to lose that money. And you need to cover at least, if you have debt. Term insurance means if any death happens, your family should get a lump sum money, big money. This money should include cover all your loans, because even you are not there, bank will not leave you. This money, this term insurance money should able to clear off all your loans. And if you have a wealth created, then not to worry. If you don't have wealth, I'm going to talk about your financial goals. So this money should be able to meet your financial goals plus your loans. So that means in your absence also, your family don't have to worry anything. So that means these two things. Critical, there is term insurance in case any death, your all liability should be covering, and all your financial goals should be covered. Just imagine that in your absence, your family need at least 2 lakh rupees per month. Okay, and your wife's age is your spouse age is 50. Okay, and this person is going to lead till 100 years. That means next 50 years, every month she should get 2 lakh rupees, or just 50,000 rupees, whatever it is. I don't know how much is the money. This money, if you have this kind of to get 50,000 rupees, at least you need to have a 1 crore rupees. Then only 6% will come. 6% is equal to 6 lakh rupees. That means 50,000 rupees. But 2 lakh means you need to have at least 4 crore rupees. If you have this money, no need of term insurance. If you do not have money, that means you need to have at least 4 crore rupees of life insurance you need. This is a simple truth. Sometimes people ignore this. And at the same time, there is something called critical illness insurance. Here, this is also very important insurance you should have. The 3 insurance. This means you are not dying, and you don't have any hospital expense also. Things like something like a cancer or any stroke, you can't do anything. So once a hospitalization, healthcare will take care of. If death is there, term insurance will take care. But this is in between. So critical illness insurance policy is a must to have. Once you have the accumulated wealth and keep aside, you don't need term insurance. You can stop paying also. Because term insurance is need only if you have absence of wealth to support your family in case of your absence, or you need to have a loan and you want to service it. Once you have this, you need to really see that what is my net worth? What is your net worth? How you will understand what is your asset and what is your liability. These 2 things you need to be very clear. So when it comes to and especially when you run sometimes when you run a business, you may have a home. You may have let's say our home is a 2 crore rupees, and car is let's say another 1 crore rupees, and you have a land. Okay, that is also let's say another let's say 2 crore rupees. So you see that you have a 5 crore rupees as an asset. But liability, home have a liability of, let's say, 1.5 crore loan. And car has another liability of, let's say, 75 lakh. So what is your liability? 3.25. That means what is your actual net worth? 1.75 crore. Is that enough for you? If your family, this is enough for you, no need of term insurance, nothing. But if this is not enough, in that case, you need to fill this gap with your term insurance. And if you really look at it, you need to really look at your personal finance very clearly. Here, you can really see that what is your, and I just randomly put it this one, but you can really run it and see that what is your assets actually you have. I'm talking about personal finance alone. And here, if at all any mismatches, sometimes people run this minus also. Especially I have seen that businessmen, they don't really, because they have a confidence, because you know that you have built everything all alone. And you know that one business started and another business is coming. You know, because I was talking to one hello, okay. Yeah, I think it's not to me. Okay. So I was talking to a businessman. He was telling that now I'm in a little financial crunch, and there is a business opportunity coming up. For that, I need to take, let's say, 2 crore rupees loan. Then I asked, how much is the EMI? And that EMI is not covering it. Their income is not covering up to this one. But when I look at it, he has 2 children for education, and he's at 60. And I said, are you really comfortable taking this loan? And he said that, my philosophy is that always 4 plus 3 is equal to 10. I said, it's good. That is very good for business. But are you really to take that risk now? Because at the age of 60, and then he started opening up. He said that now his pressure level is something else, cholesterol level is something else, stress level is something else. So if we take up this kind of tension, he may not be very sure. Then we reassess and see that what is the FD he has, all those things. Then we spoke that, if you can delay this for some time because his child is getting finish his education and doing all these things. Then we come up with a proper plan that how we can deal this without taking that kind of EMI. And finally, in 6 months' time, what he came up and said that is that he found a person who is an investor, and he became partner because earlier he was reluctant. Then he went for a 50-50 partnership and no loan. And then when he ran this business, because initially the moment he know that take a loan, he thought that he can clear off everything, and he was so happy. But the moment he thought about at the age of going for that bigger loan is difficult. So then there are plans. They can make it out, because at the age of at certain age, don't take high risk, because I don't know, especially when I speak to business community, that how to take risk. I'm talking about how to reduce risk. That sometimes you may not understand. I'm talking about how to secure yourself and your family first. Because in your absence also, in your families, in your business failure also, your family shouldn't struggle. That is a whole point I'm talking about. Then we need to talk about that. What is your financial goals? We need to really clear that what is your financial goals. So I'm talking about personal finance goal. What is your kids' responsibilities? Responsibility could be their education. It could be at the age of 18. They have to go for graduation. At the age of 21, they have to go for post-graduation. If at all you want to, give them marriage or something, you may have some fund. This is your requirement, right? So you need to see that what is the kid's age now. So, for example, kid's age is 5. That means in 13 years, you have what is today's expenses. In 13 years, this will become 60 lakh. And at the age of 21, this will become at least 1 crore rupees, maybe more than that. And in your family, how much is required to marry your child? If a girls, how much you will spend today for your gift and for your expense and everything? It could be 2 crore rupees. And now kid's age is 5, and at the age of 25, this 2 crore will be how much? At least 8 crore rupees. This is your requirement. If you like it or not, you can have to. Because when you look at business, you will think that this is possible. Somehow I'll manage it. But do you really want to go with your intuition, or you want to really plan it for? So once you do this, you will have a clear picture that how much is really needed. And if you like it or not, you want to retire it. You want to retire one day, or you want to achieve a financial freedom. That day, you don't want, even if you are full-time sleeping and you are not bothering about business also, you should have a retirement money. So just imagine today, if you want to sit all alone, do nothing, how much money you need per month? Do nothing, just enjoy your life. How much money you need per month? So it could be, then you see that I have a business, I have a manager, that person will come and run it for you. That forget it. But without any of this, with your lump sum, how much money you need? It could be, let's say, I'm just putting a figure, 2 lakh rupees per month. This money, when do you want to really take the financial freedom or retirement? Just imagine that you want to do this within 10 years time. Every 10 years, your expenses will become double. This is a inflation. I'm not talking anything. 7% inflation. This expense will become double. And just imagine, your age is 50. And at the age of 60, 2 lakh become how much? 4 lakh. At the age of 70, this will become 8 lakh. At the age of 80, this will become 16 lakh. This is a number. You don't have to do anything. You may be thinking that at the age of 70, I won't be doing anything. Nothing. Maybe you may need 2 drivers, 2 servants, because now you don't need any of this. But at the age of that one, you need this kind of people. And your expenses will explode this kind of a situation. And you know the situation, right? When you are, yeah. Okay. Okay. So this one, in order to,
but it's going to push you to the next level, right? So the leadership here, I accepted the leadership.
Someone can unmute. Okay, fine, good. Okay, cool. So in order to get this, let's say that 2 lakh rupees per month you need. In that case, how much you need? At least, let's say 1 crore is 50,000 rupees. That means at least 4 crore rupees. if you need to, if you put it in a mutual fund or something, you will able to take 6% per annum, and you can make this fund grow at 8%, 9%. So which means you can enjoy 2 lakh rupees plus you can grow this fund. That way you can ensure your retirement. So this is something which I'm just touching upon all the things. I'm open to questions. So this is a retirement planning which all of you have to do it. For that also, you need to see that passively you need to make money. Don't really think about I will run the business and get this money. So run the business, do that. That is okay. But if you are not running the business also, you should get this money. That's all. For that, you need to have a plan. It's okay. I hear, especially when I talk to businessmen, they will tell that if I have 4 crore rupees, I know how to make 100% in 1 year. But in your absence, will it happen? This is a problem, because for your wife may not know the trick of making 100% return from your business. So this one, it has to happen for your wife or your family. I'll put it as wife. I hope that here woman also there. So I'm talking about for his husband or wife. So it's very important to have this kind of a situation. And another point which we need to be very clear about is our succession plan. If you have all this money, biggest problem in this in India, people are dying without writing will. This is the biggest problem, especially if you are in a foreign country, and here, if something this is going to happen. You are going to move away from it. But do you want to pass on this properly to people? Because in your absence, do you want the fight to happen in your family? And there are many things. So, and you need to be very clear that. So first of all, you need to have a clear document that what all you have, assets and liability, and where is it kept. And you need to know that who is a nomination. And next generation should be very clear that where is this sitting, all these things. And this is the biggest problem which I also face as managing wealth for my clients. Because just imagine that there are families, because these days, especially some business family, I don't know everyone, they have struggled and they started with zero, and they let's say that they made it to 100 crore rupees, and we were running business, and they don't want their children to do the whole struggle, and they educate them. They educate them, and after education, they may get a job, and they may be earning. Let's say that they will be in Bangalore or Bombay and earning per month 2 lakh rupees. 2 lakh rupees per month. And the problem with this generation is that they may be PhDs, but their capability is to think 24 lakh, because that is their annual salary. They can't think about this 100 crore, and they don't even know how to manage this wealth. And if at all businessman pass away suddenly, it's not going to happen, but I'm just randomly telling. What will happen? This 100 crore, who has to manage? Highly educated employee has to manage. And he or she may not know how to manage this. And what will happen? This is as same as this person is getting a lottery. What is the problem with the lottery? A person who won lottery, they will be able to manage this wealth only for 3 years. That is what the study shows. I'm talking about 80% of the situation. If this happened to your children, this is the same case. You are not buying any state government's lottery or anything, but you are preparing your children to get a lottery. Here is the important thing about succession planning. Succession planning is not about just writing a will. It's about educating your next generation about what is your wealth and how they're going to manage it. I have seen that there are families, they have transferred everything, properties, especially real estate is a big headache. People, they have got it and they don't even know how to collect the rent. They don't even know that they have to pay yearly taxes, property tax and everything. Because they're not bothered, because they haven't seen that, they are doing it. Their parents were doing it. And succession planning is a very important thing. It's not just about writing a will alone. It's about educating your children how to run that and their wealth you have accumulated. Otherwise, it's a problem. More than second generation, if lucky, second generation will manage it. third generation that also will not manage it. So it's very important how do we manage it. And and another thing is that don't think that in your absence everyone will have a same opinion to handle your wealth. Maybe some person may need land, another person need your business, another person need your gold. I don't know what gold you have. So this will be a bigger problem. So this one, you need to be very clear that who should manage, and you only take the lead to take this decision how to hand over and everything. This is another thing when you run the business. If you have a plan to list the company and everything is set. There is a very clear idea that who will manage and everything. And when you do this, I'll move on to other financial products to manage this. So when I just put a structure here to mention that now to manage the financial product, you have FDs, you have mutual funds, you have direct equities. This is like you can buy the share and keep it. You have PMSs, you have AIF, alternative investment funds, and even real estate. You have something called REITs, real estate investment trust. Same way, you have a infrastructure investment trust. These two things are like you can be part of real estate and earn dividends or rent from here. So there are many opportunities. So you need to make sure that how you manage this. All are paper assets, so you can able to manage it. So the biggest important thing is that you need to manage it with a proper asset allocation. You need to know that how much you need everything, how much you need in FD, how much you need in gold, how much you need in equity, how much you need in real estate. So all these things, you need to have a proper clear allocation. So for example, you need a liquidity. FD is the best thing. Gold is the best thing. You need a growth. Equity is the best thing. You need growth and income. Real estate is the best. So, and you need to have a clear picture that how much percentage you should go. You should professionally manage, and you shouldn't take any risk. Don't put 100% in equity. Don't put 100% in debt. So this is something which very clearly manage it. At the same time, you should know that if you're a businessman, you have a money monthly. You have certain money comes in, but you have other savings also. SIP is a good option. Systematic investment plan. This is something which you can invest. Your family can invest. So you are busy running business, but you don't really bother about creating a personal wealth. Here, SIP come in handy. Even if you are investing 1 lakh rupees per month, this itself is enough for you to really create wealth. Because there are people who are running maybe 50 crore business, 100 crore business, 25 crore business, but they don't have a clear money within their hand because they are reinvesting, but you don't have a really accumulated wealth for yourself. For that, the best thing is that start, let's say, if you're adding 1 lakh rupees per month as an investment, if you're getting 12% return itself, you can make 1 crore in 6 years' time. I'm roughly putting it. See, this 1 crore outside your business is very important, because if you are continuing this discipline, let's say for 6 years, then from here onwards, every 6 to 7 years, this will become double. 2 crore will become into. Even if you stop it here, you can tell that I got 1 crore rupees, I stop it here. So in next 12 years, this will become 2 crore, and in another 16 years, this will become 4 crore, and in 24 years, this will become 8 crore. See, when I say that, mostly for a businessman, it won't kick you, because the thing is that that from your business you can make this kind of money. But the point is that without any of your effort, you can make this. This is your this is the beauty of doing this, because and at least keeping some money. I'm saying 1 lakh is for easier thing. You can reduce it and you can increase it. But it's this kind of a wealth is there. You don't have to really worry about creating wealth for yourself, especially personal finance, especially for retirement and everything. You can do this. So, and in terms of, you need to be very clear that short time you can invest a certain way, long time you can invest a certain way. For short time, FD and debt instruments are very good, because you need liquidity here. And for a longer time, equity is the best option you have. Real estate is the best option you have. Then gold is and what you need to have is that a balancing act which you need to do it. So what I spoke so far is that we spoke about basics about separating business and separating business and your personal finance. It's a must to have. Sometimes that discipline we end up forgetting, and from one business to another business, we get excited. And I'm not just talking about Kerala business community, but across India, we always feel comfortable investing and reinvesting in our business because we know that we can make 100% return. But the biggest thing is that you need to have a diversification. You need to have some funds with your hard work, the business, the money should multiply, and the same with some money which you need to have a separate, which should grow without any of your involvement. For that, you need to be having a clear picture that what you really want to have, and you need to keep the basics ready. Emergency fund you should have, insurances you should have, and you need to identify what is your financial goals you want to have, and you need to have an open, clear conversation with your family. That is a very important thing because I have seen that, especially when I speak to rich family. I was in conversation with a person who they're pretty rich and very good family. He is a scientist, and his ambition was to make his children also scientists. And till that time, they didn't have the conversation because by default he thought son is going to be a scientist. Then that day, when we had this financial discussion, his wife was telling that you don't know that your son want to be a footballer. And the son came and said that they are Maharishis. So he said that Papa, my point is that I want to be a footballer, but even if I don't become footballer, I'm ready to do a sports management course. So then they went to, he said that he's arranged everything. In Spain, he found a college where he can practice and do this MBA kind of a course. Then the course, I think, costed about $1.5 crore or something. He's capable to do that, but his entire idea was that taking scholarship in US and sending the child for PhD. So when this kind of a discussion happened, this kind of things rolled out. Then I had another person who was a director in a company and who got a big ESOP. So he got about, I think, 30-40 crore rupees as an ESOP itself. And he wanted to start a business. And he was trying to put entire money into his startup. Then we were having a discussion and the wife said that I don't want to have this kind of a busy life again. Then he kept 20 crore aside for his family for retirement and everything. And next 5 crore only he took, rest of the money he took from investors. And he's now become highly successful businessman. But the point is that family around, I think, 5-6 years never had any trouble with business worries and everything because that 20 crore kept aside for families, retirement and everything. So these are the plans which open discussion will help family to do that. This is what I just want to tell you today. I'm open for questions. So far I spoke about is that I don't know whether I spoke very fast or especially when I speak with a lot of liking and my passion. Sometimes I may go a little faster, but the whole idea is that I want to give a thought. Everyone said that this is a very important thing. I know that you all are really love doing what your business and everything, but this is something which you should do, especially writing a will. It's a very important thing most of the time. And writing a will, the beauty is that anytime you can change it. Maybe sometimes you will be full love with your wife, then you will be full love with your children. You can always update. Not to worry that if I do that, it will be stuck and everything. So these are the simple concept which I want to bring into all of your attention. I'm open for questions here. Any questions in chat or?
Nikhil.
Hi.
May I talk? I'm Rajesh Swami.
Hello, sir. Yeah, please. Sir.
Yeah. I appreciate your effort to explain the financial planning. I would request you to highlight the things that our members, they are means having a lot of assets, everything. Mm-hmm. But the next generation, how to pass it on to them without any difficulties. That is my concern, because almost everybody have reached that stage where they have many assets, but since I am from retired banker, I am a retired banker, I know that there is unclaimed deposit of more than 50,000 crores, and nobody knows in the family. I would request you to just give a thought on it and explain it to our members who have joined here, that how they can pass it on to their family members.
Okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. Thanks for this question. And I think it's a very relevant. Yeah. Anything else you want to add? Yeah. Okay.
Nikhil, you may answer this question, then we will go for further 2 or 3 questions. We'll end up by around 9:30.
Okay, good. And I'll speed up and tell that quickly. So I think the best thing is that you need to have an open conversation, and at the same time, you need to have a clear list of things that what are your assets and what are your liability and where is these assets are kept. And based on that, whom you want to really pass on each of assets. And that should be clearly mentioned in the will. And in will, I would recommend that especially, pretty more assets and bigger number of people, good to register it with the help of a lawyer, create one and register it and keep it. And and without will, it's a bigger problem, because even with will itself, it's a bigger problem, because they will ask that, is it really is yours? that is another problem. Without will, you don't even ask. And another thing is that if your family are NRIs, if your family is in a different part of the country, or the world, coming everyone and registering it is a bigger problem. So without will, it will take at least 2-3 years to set this everything. But if you create a will with all these details, and if you can, and you can keep on updating it till whatever the last will, that will be the registered one. So basically, documenting everything, that all of the asset is there and whom you want to pass it on, create the will and pass it on. And this, and I think more importantly, educate everyone that how to manage this. That is a bigger trouble, especially next generation. How do you want to move, keep it? So I think this is in nutshell, and take the help of a professional. That is a way we can really manage, manage the succession here. Any other questions? Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, sir. Yeah. Thanks for the question. Yeah.
Any other questions?
No, Sureshji, if they see anyone has any questions further, they can communicate with our office. They can contact our office, and we will exchange with him. And let them.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. Nikhil, let us conclude. Then we'll proceed with the vote of thanks.
Yeah, good. Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity. I really enjoyed meeting all. Yeah, appreciated this effort. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nikhil. The things what you said, that succession plan is not only writing a will, it's educating your second generation. That is the takeaway for this particular webinar. And thank you very much for all the participants for joining this exclusive webinar on wealth management. I request the chairman to give a concluding notes. Thank you.
Thank you, Sureshji. Okay, it's a very, very eye-opening session, especially the people who have not thought of having a succession plan, or maybe making continuity, like with the youngsters or the next generation. Of course, he was explaining very, very clearly what you have to do during your life and what you have to nominate, even the nominations, the succession plan, and many things, which was very useful for all of us. I think this seminar would give us a very good impression, very good information to the participants, and we will be keeping this webinar, the entire recording will be available on our website, and we'll be sending messages to all our database also. So let us have conclusion with a high gratitude towards the speaker and to the participants as well. Thank you so much. Okay, we'll be concluding the meeting right now. Mr. Nikhil, please keep in touch. Okay, you will be having a lot of questions further, because that's the nature we find now.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Nikhil, once again, and all the participants. Okay, see you next month for another topic with another speaker.
Thank you. Bye. Thanks, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nikhil. Thank you very much.
Thanks for arranging it, George. Thank you.
Yeah.